Harry Dunn's family sues American diplomat's wife over failed 2019 collision.
Here's a summary of the article.
The family of Harry Dunn, a British 19-year-old who died last year after his motorcycle was struck by the vehicle of an American diplomat's wife, filed a wrongful death lawsuit on Wednesday. Rad Seiger, an advisor for Dunn's parents, said in a statement that they filed the suit in U.S. District Court in Virginia because Ann Sakulas has spent more than a year avoiding prosecution for allegedly striking Dunn while driving the wrong way in her SUV on August 27, 2019. Sakulas initially cooperated with investigators before she and her husband, also named in the lawsuit, fled to the U.S. about 3 weeks after the incident. According to court records, Dunn was riding his motorcycle in Croughton, Northamptonshire, when struck head-on by Sakulas. Dunn's family has quite publicly pressed officials on both sides of the Atlantic to provide them a chance at justice. Dunn's parents, Tim Dunn and Charlotte Charles, accepted an invitation from President Donald Trump to meet him at the White House. However, when they learned that Sakulas was in another room waiting to meet them, they declined to meet her. Dunn's death sparked rallies and protests around the world, and British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab is applying to join the complaint as an amicus curiae to assist the family in a court battle, Seiger said.
This post received a score of 33,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Can't imagine what this family has gone through. I'd be pursuing anything and everything to make my son's killer pay. I hope I never experience this situation. On the other side, I can't imagine killing someone by accident then claiming diplomatic immunity. I honestly think I'd take responsibility, but I could be wrong and hope to never find out.
Isn't it incredible? There was an Ask Reddit earlier about people who had been responsible for somebody's death, and most of them were drivers in traffic collisions. Most of them seemed traumatized by what had happened and had willingly gone through the justice system. The footage of her ignoring reporters and driving off on the school run was just appalling. A crazy catalogue of mistakes, carelessness and really poor judgment.
Exactly. I think there would have been some sympathy for her as a mother and a visitor on unfamiliar roads, who made a terrible, but unintentional mistake. Instead, she decided she doesn't need to be accountable for causing someone's death, and escaped safely back to her own family, having devastated the family of her victim. It reeks of such callous arrogance.
I remember seeing his mom and dad on TV when this first happened. They said that they weren't looking for her to be in trouble as such, they just wanted her to take responsibility for what had happened. They weren't looking for jail time or anything. They always come across as such lovely, forgiving people, and it's so sad to see her put them through additional unnecessary trauma.
It's amazing what a simple "I am sorry" can do. Pride, it's why it's one of the 7.
Ah yes, aka Homelander.
Dude, I almost put like the deep, but you know, too many doofs. Thanks for the uplifting post.
Good piece on why Sakulas didn't have diplomatic immunity. UK DPP has ruled this to be the case, and is likely dodging court to avoid being accountable for her actions. Imagine if the roles were reversed, and someone killed a US official then fled the US to avoid prosecution whilst claiming diplomatic immunity on flimsy, red, bullshit grounds? It wouldn't be tolerated.
Unless they were also very rich.
And were kind enough to share money with, bribe, politically affiliated groups.
You mean Saudi college students? One of my college professors told a story about how he was waiting for the bus one day when one of his wealthy Saudi students drove by in a very expensive car. The student stopped and insisted on giving the professor a lift home, so the rest of the story was mostly just going on about how fabulously wealthy basically all of the Saudi students were, how they all had super fancy expensive cars like that, and that one day they were all gone. I guess I spaced out at the thought of all that wealth as influence being in the hands of students, when the professors are so broke they're taking the bus.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.